Test. Then I hear me.
Yep, hearing you.
All right. Let's get going. Shay. All right, so Shay's still on as a listener. All right, evening everybody. Welcome to the usual early warm for the live event, to the early part of the event. We'll get going in a couple of moments. Anybody who wants to have a very early setup points, this might be a time for you to send a message. Otherwise, we can get going when we get going.
You don't need a second job. You just need to learn how to talk to AI. Let's be real.
Oh. Yeah, then you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
All right.
yep.
All right, I'll send you that your microphone open. I think Shay having some trouble rejoining. Let's see what happens when she actually does. Hold on. All right, then as usual, I don't like when we have too pregnant a pause here. So we can get going until her line is sorted out.
All right.
So, hi everybody, welcome to BrickTalk, this week's BrickTalk, the early part of this week's BrickTalk. I'm Randy, and as usual, I'm giving you the preamble. I'm not an investment advisor. None of this should be taken as investment advice. And even if anybody on the show does talk about things that they are doing or things should be done, do not misconstrue it for investment advice. This show is not investment advice. Do all the investing with the help of a licensed investment advisor, like Danai, who is a licensed investment advisor. But while he's talking on the show, he's not acting as an advisor. We're just two guys who like stocks and the market and talk about what we would like and when we like it. So, with that said, welcome to this week's Brick Talk. Secret Profits for a very almost secret episode. She should be joining us soon. So, I'm Randy, as usual, sorry. And that was Danai who I just interrupted.
Yes, I am. Then as Randy said, licensed investment advisor. And as usual on the show, we talk about stocks, mainly talk about investments. We have a strong love for stocks and what they can do for you. So we'll be talking about that. And I was laughing just now because I like the name you came up with for today's title, Randy.
The secret
profits. It reminds me of secret selling.
That's funny.
It just made me immediately think of it's just who was telling you they were selling? It's nobody tell you when they buy or I imagine nobody's telling you when they're selling, but then suddenly you don't like that somebody sells, so we do like the secret selling. So I wonder if it's how the secret profits go.
Well, no, I wasn't thinking about that at all. But like that, you liked it. Did you think of anything related to profits when you like what was your interpretation of it?
Mm-hmm. I would say, well, you don't usually explain it. So my thought around it was the kind of what I was saying earlier, the hush hush, the thing that you're doing in the market that's profitable, but that isn't necessarily something that is widely broadcast, is spoken about. Just the oh, may I go and do it? And I also thought of we have a lot of callers that call in and they don't want to say what they're doing because boy, I'm doing this thing over there, so but if I talk about it, everybody are gonna know and I can't go do it again. So
Yeah.
those are the lines I was running down with that one when I saw the title.
Uh, well, well, actually, I was thinking very tame. I like that. I
Mm-hmm.
like. Yeah, I was thinking very tame. I was just thinking of like those profit events or profitable things that we see happen on the market
Mm-hmm.
that don't seem like they're they're hidden. They're secret, quote unquote secret, because
Mm-hmm.
they're
Just
hidden
not
in
all
plain
TikTok.
sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the exciting thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
not viewed
That's
that
so
way.
it's so common. It's to the point where at this point I can't even call it secret profit. It just seems like that's profit.
But it is
But I
considered to be
think of how
well,
often
that's a
that
secret.
it's
It's
spoken
not.
about is not actually the thing that makes it broad notes often is after the fact. It's like, oh, it was a big event, a lot of people participate. It's an IPO, Trans Jamaica doing the fly up because everybody was holding it and nobody was making money. You finally move and then suddenly, it's this great thing. We love Trans Jamaica after the profit already hit you. I often find that the thing where I'm looking for as, oh, yo, I think I have a strong bias to it in a way too. I think it limits me. But I always try, I feel like I'm trying to find the thing that's not glaring to a lot of people.
Mhm. Give an example.
Mm, like I said, the boring thing. I remember, who? Open day trader. Oh, just easy. Select MD. We swap. Select MD. I have not heard a wide strong conversation outside of certain spaces about that. It to the point where I can rely on it to be dead in a certain way. When it first comes out that they're doing this thing, was
Hmm.
there even a strong movement at the time? I think me and you were talking about that. I know the people in your group were talking about it, but where do you hear? Oh, select MDs where I'm going for, and I'm looking at. Oh, that's a thing I can get profit from.
I don't really hear. Even now, I don't really hear anybody talk about
Yeah.
it. But I
In
don't
fact,
hear.
I talked about it. I spoke about it on our podcast that here today, and like within that same week, we spoke about it on BrickTalk. And
Ah,
to us, it was when I say it on the podcast, and when you were saying it here, we both started with we started in a way that we were acknowledging that we're not really hearing about this thing, and nobody's talking about this. But so we're speaking now, and we both know we've been speaking about this for months privately. We saw this over. Is that a year yet?
it's more than
This
a
last
year
year,
now.
this really start off as something I
Yeah,
can't think of.
it's
And
more than a year now. Yeah.
yeah, I think how boring that is for a lot of people. It's because when we find out about it and we look at it, we know it's not a tomorrow thing. We know there's possible short money to be making it, but again, it'll go dead again. So if we get something here, why? Yeah, I'm probably selling at a certain point to go back in because this is going to be a quote unquote a secret to a lot of people. It's because this thing happens, it's not going to make certain headlines. It's not going to be this big event for a lot of people.
Mm. I was hoping you'd pick something that's not necessarily, well, I wouldn't say current, because I mean, you're right. Yeah, it's over years.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the Select
It was an
MD
easy thing to draw
and
in my mind.
Select F. No, it's a good example. This is because like you're talking event, I'm talking about events. As like I'm wondering if I want to go and explain the event now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like quote unquote secret. It's not a secret, right? It's in writing.
Mm-hmm.
It's shared with everybody. But it's the conversion to the unit trust and everything around that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's over a year. It's over a year. and being able to
It's
predict.
been profitable. We've had profitable plays for it more than once since that announcement, and even then, it's not a conversation, yeah, or not a wide conversation.
Yeah, and I don't think it will be yet. Maybe
Me
not
neither.
to a while.
No,
Maybe in
I
later
love that
this
for
year. Maybe
for
no, but
me.
yeah, no. Then later this year, and then no, a little later this year, and then next year, early
Hmm.
next year, and then um and then maybe the first half of the year also, like
Hmm.
after the move happens.
Hmm.
I really never want to talk about a current thing just yet.
Again, it's thing that came to my mind immediately, but
No, it's such a good thing. Yeah,
But
yeah, it's a good
I even
choice.
think
It's a
about
good
that.
choice.
Think about like I even think that with him again. I mentioned last week around Trans Jamaica and laying out the dividend strategy and all of that, and how I get you before the fact on it. I couldn't have that conversation with anybody but you around. Oh, yo, Trans Jamaica will be a thing. Like it's going to be a big move on this thing. And we even it's a funny thing. Think business too. When we said the industry move is happening around Trans Jamaica, before everybody jumping on and it's a big, before the actual move that everybody loved, there was a point where the industry guys are buying a lot of this thing.
Well, it's funny you say the move that everybody love. Oh, how many people think of that as industry related at all?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people think we still hear conversation on this show that
Hmm.
make it sound like it's this big retail event. Everybody was buying up Trans Jamaica. We moved it, guys. We got a good thing we did by buying up Trans Jamaica.
We did it, Reddit. Uh yeah, yeah. People tend to think that way. And I
Yeah.
say I say it because you're right. Up to when we've had this show, people talk about it. Obviously, I talk about it in the girl group, and I go into greater detail there. But they've been hearing that over so long. I see it explained, and in the parts passing. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying that because the Trans Jamaica plays there still plays.
There's still plays.
Yeah, the play I
But
think
I think
has
think
changed
about
now, but still.
again, almost like I said, I don't think about that. It's still as I said, it just feels like that's where the profits are. It feels often like, oh, yo, the secret, the secret is where it is. Yeah, where I'm saying that because I know I think I was strong bias because sometimes even like I know that sometimes the thing that like you don't it's not always you go against the grain. But sometimes the place where people are and going, there's something there that the people not seeing, I guess, or it's obvious at a certain point, but the profit event not. I feel like it's all secret. I keep getting back to there's some secret there, right? That's investing. It's the value is not there yet because people don't see the value yet. People are not really participating at the value point yet. As you have to know that for before everybody else or before the person that's going to move on it in that way
Mhm.
makes that move.
Which means then that you have to be making these moves, like with like on faith. Well, um,
That's a
not
sweet
just faith.
conversation.
What's the thing that I always say? It's a pet peeve of mine. People say it all the time, as if it's speculation. It's speculation.
Mhm. Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
as if it's as speculation is a bad word, bro. Like, how dare you speculate? How dare you have an idea? How dare you think this can happen with no certainty?
Yeah.
I think people. This feels like a lot of the conversations we had since we started back. I mean, even from before we started back, right? But I think like, a lot of the conversations we had around where we started back,
Hmm.
a lot of those coming back because like speculation and just how people think of things generally is it must be guaranteed. I want to see what's the value of this company. If it's not that valued, then it's overvalued. I'm not buying it there. I would never buy that there because I do my ratios and that just don't make sense. Never mind the potential for the thing that they're doing working out in a way that I can profit. We often speak about the profit of the company separate. We speak about the profit of the company as if it's our profit versus oh, what going to the share price? Where I go profit from this thing happening? It's the conversation often leads to, boy, that don't make no sense because they will only make X amount of money from it, and it will only bring in thing. It will only bring in X amount of money. So I check my thing, and boy, the value of the company will go up based on X, Y, Z, or it will only go up X, Y, whatever, and we ignore the point where maybe it was somebody's buying into that thing happening.
Well, yeah. But you see, again, just like last week, I think we're like, it's not a conversation at 7.
Oh,
Yeah,
usually
and
they know me.
yeah, and I don't know that the conversation is at 7 for most people. Some people might be listening. Some people, I'm sure, following, and some people might be a little lost and wondering what it's about. And again, it's adjacent to what related to the whole secret thing, right? Because again, that wasn't even what I was thinking, but it's such a good how do you put it? It's such a good middle of the road topic that it touches so many things that you wouldn't even think. You wouldn't think initially.
Why?
You wouldn't think initially it's working. I hear is that Shay?
Yes, I'm trying to. Yes, I'm here.
And Shay having some connection issues this week. All right, I don't know if Shay heard me. Dana, you heard me? Yeah, I think you hear me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
hearing
we
you.
also hear your keyboard.
Back to the 80s.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I think we got some connection problems there. Yeah, Danai, sorry to be jumping back and forth like this. Where were we?
I was at 7.
Oh yeah, so yeah, 7 with the bit explanation of the idea of the secret prophets, because you're saying so many things that are linked to so many other little things that, like the conversation, I think is faster at that level, but everybody isn't there. And so it's not even bad, it's just that there's value in what you're saying. So, and it's linked right back to the idea of the thing then, it's not about a secret. I hate to use that word in that regard now, but it's not about a secret, but it's something that everybody can see, but it's a matter of you understanding it or seeking to understand it better or faster or interpreting it more correctly or just understanding it for what it is and for what you're actually doing. And so as a result,
It often feels like a secret because you talk about the thing before it happens, and it's like, again, you're going against the grain. Like, what are you talking about? That's not happening. That's not there. Like, that's not a possibility. And then when it's happening, now it's like, oh, okay, so you check this out of the back. The thing you were talking about a couple months ago makes sense to everybody.
well, everybody never sees it until it happens, right? And then it's impossible until it becomes done. Then it was inevitable or easy. It's just you're getting it along the way. You're getting it right. That's just how it works. That's what's meant to happen. And so that leads to things being in front of people on the market and them just not seeing it. Them just not getting it. Or well, I shouldn't. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying that even some things like stock splits, like the thing that everybody knows as that must make some money for some people, right? Or a lot of people know it as that. I don't want to say everybody because people fight in things sometimes. But but even then, just like sensitive on the next slide, we can say, well, it must be a secret thing some way because even at the point of announcing the stock split, there's many times there's money to be made at that point when the cat is out of the bag, where they're fully talking about this thing. So before you knew this, oh yeah, they're doing this thing. I think they're good at stock split around it. That's where the secret really starts. But then it comes out, and you look at the thing and it's like, not enough people are buying into it at this point, where you think it can go, and you're right about that later down when the stock split actually executes and blah blah blah. between that whole time, there was some. It feels like there was something of a secret. Like you alone didn't know say profit can make out of this thing right now.
But I guess about that. I just again I'm thinking maybe I'm biased because it's still not spoken of everywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
even if they make the profit, who knows?
Yeah.
That's one element of secret profit. Think about how you hear about even just how things are looked at nowadays. How things are
Mm-hmm.
looked at or spoken of is often in a way where you think something that's good is bad, so the secret is right there in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, I joke about the Dolphin Cove stuff almost every week now, and I saw an is it so I saw an article about the JC's latest results.
Ah, yes. On the back of market downturn or something such.
Yeah, I had to read it. I had to reread it. Like I wondered like if I'd gotten it wrong. Like that's an example of something that's yeah, me I'll bring it up later. Maybe if we get to video, I'll like show like just some of the things in there. But it's an example of something that looks like nothing, so it's quote unquote secret, right? Um, I don't know. Like even if you're thinking just as a dividend investor, JC pays dividends. So if you read that and you thought, oh, JC is
Mm-hmm.
terrible, things rough and all right, no, not maybe not the best time to jump into anything. Um, then you look on that article, you make that kind of decision, and you miss out on like on one of the better dividends on the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a declared dividend. Something like that
Right.
would look secret, right?
Mm-hmm. Even like look on that too, in the face of somebody seeing this and their reaction to it being, I might sell the stock. And enough people do that. And so, and people buy people and they look at the Q and say, "But I want to sell it lower. The price falling, better dividend."
That becomes a quote unquote secret profit also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Many angles in the
yeah,
secret. The secrets are deep.
because they're right there, they're right in front of everybody. Yeah. I mean, so use a current example. I'll use a past example, like something that is completely done
Mm-hmm.
that we can talk about properly.
Is that Shay I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think that's share
Buffalo.
again.
Yay! Sweet success. Okay.
I share. I don't know if we're hearing you properly. Say something again.
I am Shay Miller. I am speaking because they need to. Are you hearing me
Welcome, Shay
clearly?
Miller. Yep.
Yeah, we're hearing you. It breaks up sometimes, but we're hearing you.
Okay. Oh, third world.
Hey, I mean, don't knock it. It's a nice world.
Oh, I love it here.
Yeah.
Now migrate.
Shay, I don't know if you heard what Dana and I were talking about earlier.
Some of it, very little of it, because I was in and out.
All right. So, well, we're just going into the stated topic, secret profits. Then I had a very interesting set of interpretations of it.
Hmm.
What did you think of it? Like, what does it mean to you?
Secret profits. I think I just thought about the people who are just making their money quietly and not really talking about their plays or the money that they make. That's the first thing that popped into my mind because I know people who consistently make them look a thing and don't say nothing.
I mean, me too. Me too. I know quite a few people who do that. I mean, and that's kind of the default in Jamaica, right? Most people aren't
Yeah. Not talk about it.
talking about any money that they
Rich
make.
and
Yeah,
not
yeah,
talk.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also there is not much incentive to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Fox. Definitely. Fox. And I think
I should say there's a lot of clear downside to speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mhm,
clear. There's a lot of clear downside to speaking. And we joke about that.
yeah,
We joke
that's
about that
true.
last week. So I mean, then I just I'm gonna talk them for like whole long. I don't remember, I don't know how long, but like we just why not just do a break? Like what's the point
Mm-hmm.
of doing anything? It's like you get up and decide to sweep the street and like it become a bad thing for you.
Problems.
Like, wait, why am I out here sweeping the street?
Yes.
I just stay in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's this incentive
So,
there. But yeah, sorry, go ahead, Shay.
um, I'm running two phones, right? My business phone, I can probably do the space from there. So I was thinking of switching over because for some reason my Wi-Fi, my laptop's not connecting to my business phone. So there's that.
I get you. I mean, do whatever you
Mm-hmm.
need to. It's fine. We're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't hear us, if you want to talk now and talk to me, that's fine. Unless
Mm-hmm.
you meant you're going to have to switch
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, in that case, that's fine. I mean, then I can talk until you figure it
Mm-hmm.
out and jump back on.
Yeah.
Or also anybody else who wants to join. I mean, it is still Brick Talk, guys. So if you anybody have any thoughts on it or anything you want to talk about, feel free to send a speaking request and we'll discuss it. You can jump into the conversation. I'd love to hear you guys' interpretation on secret profits, or if you have any questions around it. So then I was also thinking of I was thinking about which like examples of this have we had over the years, like a completely done case. Like this was secret profit, quote unquote secret profit, which is meaning along the lines of my interpretation of it, which is the obvious gains that nobody that's not so
Not
obvious, seems secret, but
turns out not so obvious. Yeah.
it's more like an open secret.
Mm-hmm. Open book test.
I don't know what's an example of one you think over the years,
I'm just open my own JD.
because for me it's so event driven. I'm thinking about like JetCon and when Mayberry had the
MJE.
yeah, MJE, the
I
spin-off.
just I think I just spoke about that one. As the question asked of me as I was answering with that one was, what was that big moment for you in your investment journey? And I said I couldn't really get it. I couldn't think of it just so. 'Cause I feel like how I've been thinking about it on the journey, but I said no, like MJE was that big moment for me, because how much money I made from that just doing it and all that. But yeah, and even then I spoke about how I spoke about it there. Like it felt like me and Randy were talking about it in a group with some other guys when the first notice come out, and I even say I remember what the notice was a RGR article, and I was calling before it listed on it was MJ, it was listed with MJE. They had it said Mayberry Jamaican Equities Limited. You have Mayberry Investments Limited. So MIL. So for that whole almost a year, I was calling it MGEL. MIL Mill, MGEL, right?
Yeah.
And during that time, we kept talking about it as, yo, this thing is happening. And this is the big thing for Mayberry. After money can make out of it. And you just feel like we were talking to a wall, bro. And
Yeah.
nobody would take it on the conversation. Nobody would see it as, oh yeah, I can't think that. I even say I was in the office talking about it because at that point, I'm the guy in the office talking about stocks. And we're talking the other guys in the office that also talk about stocks. That's the two traders and thing there. And people around me were saying, boy, maybe not really well, because people don't really forgive Mayberry from IPO when it went up and it went back down, and you still hear the negative sentiment around the stock and da 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 da. And it just so even the people that didn't know about it, they never feel like, and then you have people that don't know about it. It's a secret. Like what Mayberry doing something. What you mean? And it was an opportunity for such a long time.
And
And
tell the people what the opportunity was, because I'm sure a lot of
well,
people don't remember it or even know
Mayberry.
it.
So Mayberry there was no MJE once upon a time. Well, there was an MJE, but it was within. the group of Mayberry. So Mayberry Investments Limited, we now know as MGL, Mayberry Group. Mayberry Investments Limited, the broker. They were listed by themselves, and they had previously held out their investment portfolio. That's just an investment portfolio that they have under the company. So they buy into stocks. They've done a lot of deals, so they have a lot of stocks through IPOs and buying stocks they're interested in over the years. And they had said, we're going to spin this off. We're going to take this thing, put all the listed equities we own into a company, and you or shareholders are gonna get a piece of that company, 10% of that company, as a dividend.
Yeah, a dividend in specie, to be
dividend in
precise.
specie.
Yeah.
Did they call it a dividend in specie at the start, or was it when they put out the thing there?
I don't.
I know they said that we're giving a dividend, but why wasn't there a dividend in specie if it was thing there? So I feel like there's a lot of confusion given to us when we spoke about it. People kept telling us, how do we give this? How must give us a company as in dividends? So they're giving us money, they're going to pay. They give us stocks. Like, how do we give us a company as dividends? And we just ask, we such a point. You can get anything as any asset as dividends. Just give us a piece of this thing that you own. And a lot of the big deal there as well was, all right, we go own this company, but it's not listed. So why would you want a piece of this company? You can't sell it. Is that company going to pay dividends? It's not listed. You can't do nothing with that. And me around the other time was like, yeah, so obviously it's going to be listed, right? Then we IPO this thing, and imagine you own. We always talk about owning a piece of the IPO before it's IPO. Everybody want to be that big star. You want to be on the reserve list.
Everybody want to get into the secret, the reserve.
You want private equity game.
Yeah.
And Mayberry is saying, yo, we're gonna this thing. We're gonna give you a piece of it. And to me, and Randy was obviously going to list it. So we're getting this company that's going to be listed for just buying this other company. And they're gonna IPO that next thing. So IPOs are IPO a little bit, and they fly up at that time. Everybody was happy. And I say, but nowadays that might not be the case, right? But to me, the opportunity was heavy. I was putting a lot of money into it. Almost all my money was going to Mayberry MIL at the time, and yeah, you see, like the open secret. No matter how much I talk about it, it was okay. But what's the big deal there?
Yeah,
why would you buy into that thing? What's the opportunity there? Where you make money from that? Is MIL, the price not really move so much,
Yeah, that is true.
That was a lot of that conversation. And I remember MIL didn't move a lot that year. They get a dividend, the thing IPO, and then the price fly. And it's, in a lot of ways, strong benefits along that whole chain. Just on this one little news article that came out early. They had them, of course, at the AGM with everything around it. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you remember how it went, even with the AGM, there was a lot of time. It was not a short amount of time. There are months. I think it was from 1 year to the next. There's a lot of time.
This month thing. It was months before the thing there.
Yeah, for example, there was no prospectus out. That didn't happen until long after, and then they reference, and the AGM happened, and there's a long gap between the AGM, the voting on the I think it was at EGM, but I think it was at an AGM, and then there was a vote, the voting on the actual spinning off, which I won't say rubber stamping, but kind of rubber stamping. They have been following the process, and. Yeah, I don't know. To me, there are such clear signs, and it's not a secret. It's an open secret in that it's hidden in these public documents, which are about the thing. That's actually a great example of some.
March 2018, Mayberry plans IPO for
but it'd be way before that then. No, but I mean, hold on. Is that maybe that article? Well, that's a newspaper article. Well, it's definitely way before then. I mean, it's not hard to be ahead of the news.
I remember even thing that when Mayberry had, I think I've heard Gary speak about that, where he said when he was trying to explain early adoption of IFRS 19 to his shareholders.
Oh yeah.
And he said he got pushed back from Mr. Staples because he was saying, this thing is a good thing for us. We will take on this new thing, and whatever. Everybody have to do it, but we're going to do it early because we have plans around doing what we want to get out of whatever. And most companies don't early adopt the IAS when they put out this new structures and say, okay, this is what every company is going to do in the next 2 years. Most companies will take it on
Well,
early. It's we're going to wait until we have to do it
yeah,
and then
for
we do
some
it.
things, yeah. And then for other things, oftentimes, especially because IFRS, it's not that they don't take it down early. It's you do what's beneficial for you, and you pay the bill at the latest point possible.
If you're taking it, imagine then getting
But
up and saying, I'm going to
some
take it
companies
on early.
do early adopt some things when it suits them and when they're allowed to.
Like maybe.
Yeah, yeah. In some cases, yeah. Like that, the insurance change was also a very interesting one. Because it gave an option in how you want to do things, and that one we definitely won't be able to explain here tonight without boring everybody to sleep. But it was an interesting one. I thought there'd maybe be more variation in how everybody approached it, but I guess at least locally, I think almost everybody just kind of went the same route. There's all that IFRS, the one that specific one though around how you book gains. I mean, even long after it was implemented, is like they never still have a kind of like it was implemented, it's there, but then you also have to convince the auditors. Because you had that same thing with MJE and how it recognized what's the subsidiary. It's like your favorite thing that I don't know if you remember it. MJE and how it recognizes the book SVL.
The
Yeah.
associate, SPL
Yeah,
associate,
correct.
and
Yeah,
they did that before. Before anybody else was doing
exactly.
it. It's an associate, but we book it on the value of the share movement because that's how we make our money.
Which, if you go into the depths of I don't know, is that the secret profit that you get from reading some of those quote unquote boring documents or understanding those changes ahead of time? I mean,
The boring document of MJE's prospectus.
still my
When
favorite
I remember you
prospectus.
say your favorite
Yeah, still my
prospectus, man.
favorite
I still
prospectus.
remember a lot
Yeah,
of that prospectus.
still my
Yeah,
favorite prospectus.
so detailed, and you know what happens in prospectus is all right, but we not read all of that still.
Yeah. Nobody reads it. So
It's like, them are gonna say and I'll think of the idea. They're gonna say the same thing the last prospectus said. So why am I reading this thing? I just want to know what they want to do with the money, and I determine if that makes sense for me.
exactly.
And it has to sound fancy. Am I in a new company? Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
They just want a tax break. Yeah. So of those boring things that again make all of this into an open secret, then I find that that's where the secret really happens. It's not in the place where it's not that the thing is actually a secret. It's not like nothing
Yeah.
is said. Things aren't out there. It's this was said. Is just I maybe not take it time for check that. So I don't know 5 months in advance are about this thing and the possibilities of it.
And the funny thing is, with a lot of those things, it actually works out better for people with less money. Like if you were dollar cost average, you could dollar cost average your way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can plan and you can plan a lot of your plays around that because
You have time to go in with a smaller amount and have them
and my money have to make
build up.
certain. And my money have to have a certain weight thing there. Like if you're 100 million making one, then the impact, the thing that gets you there is way different from a 500,000 trying to get that 1 million. Yeah.
And then also the time to get that. Like if you don't have I don't know about 500 million or the 100 million levels and all of that, but if you're getting into it as just a regular person, let's say that you were look on CPJ in 2019 to 20, let's say not even 2019, 2020 COVID. 2020 into 2021 into 2022.
Mm-hmm.
If you were just paying attention to CPJ then, right, and what's happening around it, I mean, the general thing is COVID. It was Corona back then. Everything mash up, everything done, right? Um, hold on, I think Shay's back on there. Yeah, so everything mash up, everything done. And then you have just the realization that okay, yo, they're really ramping down that they're doing everything they can to manage the money. Remember, they're doing those box deals during COVID. I remember they had the whole you go by
Mm-hmm.
you go by Ligani, and they're doing the sales of stuff.
You get a bag of things for cheap.
Yeah, and I was pointing out to I in the girl group were looking to it, and I say, it's good, but that's also sensible. It's
Yeah,
smart business.
everything I was
Exactly.
spoiled.
Yeah,
Have to
yes,
sell it. So it have cheap. We lose some money, but less than the money would I lose if it's still on
exactly,
run.
exactly. Because it's
Yeah.
a write-off regardless. You might as well try and offset it, and it's putting cash in your hands, right? It's putting actual
Mm-hmm.
cash into your hands, and it's also maybe expanding your market. Then we saw, I mean, I remember talking to the girl group about that back then, and then we saw that hey,
Mm-hmm.
look at a lot of the noise that's happening. So the secret's in front of everybody at the time, the noise is happening is that yo, foreigners can come into the country and them freer than the Jamaicans. Yeah, how
Yes.
come the tourists them can go around and there's no lockdown for the tourists, blah blah blah. I remember there are articles like Adam Stewart talking about the resilient corridor,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
and that's terrible,
Remember
and
those?
that was the noise at the time. But then the secret behind it, I'm like, well, those tourists come to Jamaica. Well, I understand the business of
Have
it.
to eat something. Them have to
Yeah,
eat.
exactly. I have to eat, I have to sleep, I have to drink. Also, at the time, most places locked down, so very few places for you to go if you are thinking to do any tourism. Um, and so the resilient corridor meant money coming in, but it also meant that actual spending was happening at those hotels where CPJ service, right? And so the secret is, hey, the CPJ, which wasn't doing that great before COVID either.
Mm-hmm.
CPJ is now not it's still in a rough way, but it's not dying. It's something happening there. Yeah, I remember that third quarter financials. I remember it specifically being a third quarter set of financials because like there was a shift that happened, and something can be hidden in the fourth quarter. And I think the end of the year, which my system was up at, I'd be able to look at my money GA, but I think the end of the year at a loss or maybe a low profit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look on the 9 months, you look on the Q3 loss to I think the Q4 loss. I'm going from memory here. If you look on the Q3 loss to the full year loss, obviously like the fourth quarter had some massive thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I,
And we saw the revenues are start look different.
exactly. And like, yo, this something is happening here. But
Mm-hmm.
meanwhile, the share price was just as dead. If you ask anybody about it, a point that you made earlier about having to kind of be
Yeah, they've been at tourism, bro. You cannot COVID money at
exactly
all.
that's
You say nobody not fly.
exactly. So the secret is right in front of you, but you're just looking at it from I guess, the wrong angle, right?
Yep.
The diamond just look like a dirty rock, and so you ignore that pile of dirty rocks by your house, and somebody else come along and buy the rocks, get them cut, and turns out there's a pile of diamonds. And so that's the secret. Wow, you
Yep.
keep
Diamond in the rough.
exactly. Yeah, your keyboard is murdering me, boy.
My bad, my bad, my bad. So do we have Shay?
I see her back on, but I see her muted. I don't know if she can hear us.
Uh,
Shay, can you hear us? I guess she's not hearing us. I mean, when she has the ability to jump on and when she saw it out, she unmute and will hear. And by the way, guys, anybody else want to join in? I'd like to hear what some other people think about, secret profits and what it means to you. It doesn't have to mean exactly what you hear Dana and I talking about. I mean, we even coming in from two different angles, and you heard a little bit of Shay's angle, which I found was interesting too. People making the money and staying quiet. Um, so yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys also to hear what the angle that you have on it is. And apologies to anybody asking about the video. Yeah, we're all having tech problems this week. Stirring up my machine, waiting for it to restart. So I can't guarantee that there'll be video this.
The election time.
Oh yeah. Say that again?
Election time, man.
No. I mean, it is, but I have nothing to do with my machine.
When the machine are wrong color, bro.
It's have RGB, it can change the color.
Change as needed.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it.
I mean, if you're a citizen, that's a sensible way to do it. Yeah. Yep. No politician owes you. No, you don't owe any politician; they owe you.
No matter exactly that's what I was about to ask. What you mean, but I think that's a good principle as well. Like if you operate from them, they're not really owe you because they're not okay. They owe you, bro. So.
But yeah, but I didn't care what they act like. They work for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So. So everybody, so it's job interview time in a couple of weeks, but thankfully not for the computer. I don't know what it is with the computer, however. Yeah, that MJE one was really a good example also. For the one of yours that you have in mind. Again, it's also nice if it's something in the past that we can look back on. But we have current things too. Like you spoke about the select MD. Well, let me hear.
Open birthday. One that was buzzing quite back in the day, Barita. Barita, I remember when the first announcement around, hey, they might sell. And I even remember looking back then and saying, yo, Barita had what, worst PE on the market?
I mean, I wouldn't know way back then. I wouldn't remember what the PE were, but they were not like the most stellar firm. No, they were.
Why I think I remember that because I used to get emails as an employee, and it would be analyst emails. It would be every single stock, and they would put their outlook on it, and they would also put some of the ratios. And Barita was always there. The PE was red. Because it was one of those that was crazy high.
Hello?
Yeah.
Shay?
Yes.
Hi, Shay.
Hi.
Perfect. Yeah.
Happy to have you. How are you?
Welcome back again.
Boy, I turned off the D&D because I'm doing this, and it looked like it was a bad idea. I can't come in same time.
Jaja.
But I'm here now.
All right.
Just in time then, Shay. So you were talking about the topic, Shay. Let's say we've heard what Dan I think of it. What do you think of it, and like what some examples?
Well, like I was saying, I was thinking of the people who quietly do their thing. They probably came and did their grower, probably do a couple advanced grower as well. I don't really talk. And we also have people in grower group who don't talk, but they're there doing their thing. So I thought of those people, and as a true student of English Lit, of course there are different ways to look at it. So I was also thinking about the kind of profit that isn't in your face. And based on the bits that I heard, I think maybe Dana probably touched on that. Profits that aren't in your face, but they're there and kind of secret, open secret, because it's not really secret, right? But yeah, so those were my two main thoughts around the topic. But I'm all for hearing what everyone thinks. So looking forward to the discussion going forward.
I mean, well, if anybody sends a speaking request, we'll hear what they think. But I'd like to hear more around the lines of like what would cause people to want to speak?
Mhm.
What would cause people to want to speak?
Yeah.
Um, hmm. Cause people to want to speak generally about things they're doing.
No, yeah, secret
Mhm.
profits. However, like we're talking
Oh,
secret
okay.
profits as
Well, there
you
are
interpreted it.
different. It depends on their motivation, right? As people in general, I think some of the times there are people who kind of just love share in a good way. Of course, there are people who love share in a bad way, and I'll get into that. But there are people who like, if I know a way that works, brother, I want to tell you. I want to tell anyone that this works for real. For real, real. I know that it
Mhm.
works because I've done it myself. I'm not just telling you something I read somewhere or I heard somewhere. I did it for real and it works for real. So there are people who want to share because of that. And then there are people who want to share because they like how it feels. They like how it feels when they can brag about their
Say them do something.
accomplishments and
It
things.
feels good.
Yeah, it feels good, of course. There are people who do it for the attention and thing. So yeah, really, just your motivation as a person can be intrinsic, or it can be, it can come from external places. So
Yeah,
it really depends on how you are as a person and what motivates you
yeah,
in
man.
other areas of your life
I
too.
get that, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from your point of view, thinking of somebody who,
Who make secret
yeah,
profits and they're just not
I
speaking it.
wouldn't want and wouldn't speak about it before.
Mm-hmm.
What's the sort
What
of
would
thing that would change them? That would make them
that would
upset.
change them?
Yeah, that would
I
say,
think if I think
let me
if
try to
the
actually share.
hmm if we could get back to a place where the space is more, I guess there's more camaraderie in the space because it wasn't always so divided and it wasn't always an area of just full of contention and bickering and all that. So I think that if more people, if it was just, oh guys, we're all just making money here, yay, it's fun. I love the JC and it's all everybody love everybody. Then I think more people would talk and more people would feel more comfortable talking about things they
Like,
do.
boy,
But
yeah,
we
feel like
just
I
we
might.
just gone from the way they or it did stay one time. I miss it. I'm
Was it?
telling you, I miss it. No lies.
Randy, you have any thoughts on
No,
that?
I thought she was gonna answer you. I don't know if she heard what you asked. Then I was saying,
No, I
was
didn't.
it?
I didn't.
No, sir, maybe I don't. It must have been if she remembers it that way.
No, it wasn't. I think maybe. I mean, I'd love for that to happen too. I don't know how realistic that is, Shay,
Of
because
course not. That's of course it's not realistic.
no, no,
It's
but
not realistic.
I can't. You can't say it's not realistic, or is it neither? Or because well, like here, then I
Yeah.
saying it. I don't know if it was ever that way. I know people said that. I've always said that. Then I said it.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
I always hear people say that. But when was that? What was exactly happening that this was?
I
Like,
think maybe just like one of those things where like when you're younger and yeah, everything was nice, and then you grow up and you learn what
yeah,
life is. You're like, oh, mommy and daddy weren't happy. They were adults
yeah,
paying
Maturity
bills.
right
Yeah,
now.
I just didn't
exactly.
know. I just didn't know.
I think yeah, exactly that. I think in a way, like you're connected to a certain part of the space,
Mm-hmm.
so you only see certain things, you only hear certain things.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I know that bad mind is not new. and it's been here since Cain and Abel and thing. So bad mind is nothing new, right? Maybe the bad mind was just at a level that I wasn't at. I don't know.
And
Maybe.
maybe you just didn't see. But I mean, I didn't want to put energy into that stuff. But I want to think though.
Yeah, me either. Come and say, come start talk
But
Yeah,
about.
I just think that,
I'm talk about money.
boy,
Let's
honestly,
talk about peace, love, and
I
money.
don't even. I'm a
Peace, love, and the
everybody love
American way.
everybody kind of person, you know. Yeah, man, me love laugh with and smile and ask how people do for real, and I love hug up and them thing there. Um, so maybe that's just me,
no,
but
that's good. But then tell me something from that kind of person, from you thinking, even with the reality of the situation,
mhm,
what do you think could encourage or could be the thing? Let's pretend that it happened. Pretend that somebody's making secret profits and
mhm.
they decide, as you said, to not make those profits secret. They want to talk about it. They feel the need to change. What in that world was the thing that changed?
What in that way was a thing that
That changed to
changed
make them go, yeah, yeah, let me start talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
in my made up world or in the real world.
In the made up world that's based on our real world. The point is like if anything changes,
Mhm,
it's because we change it, right? So
mhm.
what is the change that we'd like to see? What is the change that you would like to have say happen that would cause people to stop doing the secret profits, as you put it?
Like just doing business,
That's true.
just
That
doing
works. I
business,
like that.
just doing business. I mean, you've seen me do it um a couple of times where I'm just like, brother, we can, me not really care. We just have to talk about it. Yes, I'm going to share the screenshot. I don't care.
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to,
I get her. I get her. I
you
get
know,
it. I get
so
it.
I think um as things are right now, yeah, just Africa, just doing business and just do it for your reason. Focus on your
Mm-hmm.
why and ignore everything else. Because there are 100% going to be people who are going to have unpleasant things to say around whatever you do.
That's true. That's true. I was hoping for the inspiration to it, and not the negative, but like the inspiration. I think like somebody who wants to share, like I'm inspired all the
Mm-hmm.
time to share. It really is life changing stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
guys have heard me talk about that time and time and time again. But no, outside of it just being like, okay, that's something that I want to do because I feel like it can change a nation if you really get
Mm-hmm.
even just a small percentage of the people really into it. It can change the face of a nation. But outside of
That's
that,
true.
like if
Mm-hmm.
somebody was just they're not thinking to change the face of a nation or anything like that, but what would the thing
Mm-hmm.
be for them to want to share?
And I think spaces like these as well, specifically.
That's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people talk, yeah. I think about like her name slipping me. The she was on a couple of weeks ago and she's always talking about her dividends.
Oh,
Something.
Yeah, Thompson.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's like somebody talking about like gardening. It's like why you grow the flower? Grow the flower for growing the flower. So like I show you
Mm-hmm.
the flower because the flower is the flower. You don't have to have a bigger meaning than that. It can just be
Mm-hmm.
like you say, here's something cool that you can do, here's something nice you can do, here's something that anybody can do, or here's something that I've
Mm-hmm.
done.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think people want to talk about the market. I think people want to talk about what they're doing on the market, what they're thinking about doing, what they're watching. I think people want to talk about it.
well, there's at least one space in which I can do it. Let's hear that's Brick Talk.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Brick Talk. Anybody ever want to talk about the market, you're always welcome here. Um, yeah, we like investing and investors around them. So
I
Mm-hmm.
think that we are talking in a relaxed way um, is better. You know, I know that a lot of people who are investors and people who join probably feel, well,
Where does your
I
place
don't
just
feel
shake?
like, pardon?
I wonder if I was felt an earthquake.
Boy, I don't know. I never feel it, but oh, it's been weird. There's no rain. I'm quite perturbed by it.
Man, are you know the king and able talk?
In one version, it's okay. I won't get into it. No tangents.
No, we're also very tangent friendly here. It's just
Oh, I know you're. Oh, I
Very.
know. I know. Yeah. So I was thinking that sometimes people might feel there's nothing that they can add to the discussion, and I think going forward, that's something that we can try to, I mean, work on. Because and you've said it before. It doesn't matter what level you are at, you can join the discussion, right? So you don't have to know as much as you think you have to know. And a lot of times we know things and we don't even realize we know them.
almost
So
always.
yeah, so I think whatever level that you are at, you can jump on and talk and brick talk, and we can see where we can get. It's really just a chill, a more relaxed environment to speak. We're not going to be asking you a bunch of math questions and statistics and then something. We want to talk about different things in different ways. So yes, if that's where you are, if you want to come on and talk numbers, sure, you can talk with numbers if you want to come on and talk numbers. But if you're just trying to figure it out, yeah, we can talk about figuring it out too.
Actually, like when these people are just figuring it out because that's a large part of it is to help.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, most people don't know it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a thing that most
You think
people know, right? Half of the country doesn't invest. A quarter of the country, I don't think a quarter of the country invests um,
I don't think so either.
directly into the market like that. It's not something that you want hidden. So most people don't know about it. So most people are in the position that you're in. And then within the space of the people who do kind of know about it, even there is still Pareto, it's still 80-20. I might be being generous with the 20. Most people that in the space don't really know about the space and don't understand it. Most people, when I say like in finance, like if
they know the niche.
exactly, they know their area, they know their niche. It's like, how people think lawyer, or doctor, everything happened, you go to the doctor,
Must know, yeah,
completely
man.
different kind of
Must
doctors,
know.
completely different kind
Yeah,
of,
Mm-hmm.
that means that every doctor must can tell me what go on this. So.
exactly, completely different kind of lawyers, completely different kind of engineers. And so within finance, you have the same sort of stratification. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have doctors who would like everybody to think that, oh no, I'm a doctor, I know everything about all about the body and everything, blah, blah, blah. And you have lawyers who are the same way. And you have
Mm-hmm.
engineers who are the same way. And you have people in the finance space who are the same way. And so they think that they should, and even they think that they should, even if they don't. And then there are those who actually do know and learning, but again, that's not going to be the majority. So there's whole heap of room for everybody to
Mm-hmm.
learn. I haven't met the person who hasn't benefited or can benefit from learning yet. And I hope never to meet that person. I hope never to be that person. It's just, yeah, there's a whole heap there. So it's actually, I like that you put into that shade. That, yeah, it's always a conversation that's open for everybody. I hear that a lot. When I ask about BrickTalk, people think that, I guess it's a compliment for the level of the conversations. People think that, boy, no, boy, man, for be an expert for be on this thing. I mean, outside of, public speaking is hard. Talking to 5 people is hard. Talking to 10 people is hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but outside of that, just being able to speak about the stock market or investing or business in a comfortable, calm way, like you sound like you know what you're talking about, is a thing that scares off a lot of people because they think that they don't know what they're talking about. But as you say, Shay, as
Mm-hmm.
I'm always telling people, you know more than enough to be a really, 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 really good investor already. You know much more about business and about the stock market and about investing than you think you do. Um, In fact, the people that I know that are sharpest when it comes to the market are almost all people that are in other areas, and almost all of them think or thought at the start, that's not really a thing I know or do or whatever. It's yeah, yeah, it is, and is meant to, and the show is always meant to and will always be a show that's there for people to entertain, to enjoy, learn from, to, but regular talk, normal talk, talk like regular
Yeah.
people about regular
Mm-hmm.
things. Yeah, I really like this way that you carried secret profits. I wasn't thinking of that at all. I don't know if you had heard it. My initial thoughts was just along the lines of companies and market events that are like an open secret. So
Yes.
they're profitable, but they're right there in front of everybody. So it's not like it really is a secret. Like you want to know a secret that can be beneficial to you, right? And it's weird how open some of these secrets are. Like they're right there.
The thing I thought about just now, you got Firmament when he said he doesn't think any company except his can make a certain move in a certain amount of time. I remember how incredible all of us were. Like, basically, nothing else no good but this one thing. Right? Nothing.
Yeah.
And we dial down into it, and it's kind of you might just have a narrow view because that you already you found what you're looking for in a way. So you stop look.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this space is important,
Yeah.
and as we go forward, people will get more comfortable. I was wondering as well, when you are joining and it asks if you want to join anonymously,
Hmm.
so people can join anonymously. Can they speak anonymously? I think that might be a no.
No, they can't. They can't speak anonymously. We have people who try to do the anonymous speaking thing here, where they have an account and you can't really tell what the account is and they speak, and that's that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm not. I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to dig into who is or whatever. There's no value in that anyway.
That's that's
I think so.
that's
I think
that's
not.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
But I was thinking maybe some people just don't want to talk because they don't want you know their profile to be associated with whatever they're talking about. I don't know. I'm
maybe,
just guessing. Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not. One of the things I like about BrickTalk is that I'm not.
No.
Like I want people to join in, but if people don't join in, that's just the people who lose. It's a
Well,
podcast. As long as we have a good
well.
conversation, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice. I've never really made the thing aligned around having to have somebody on. It's a conversation between Dana and I about the things
You
that we like, and now with
remember
you.
what the first one you did on the return the other day, and what I told you that I liked
What's that?
Oh yeah, that
when
it's just us speaking
You and
to a
Nana
large
used
view.
to used to just talk.
Yeah, yeah, and
So,
that's.
so I'm okay with that. I was literally just wondering. I was just wondering.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, I wanted to hear your thoughts on your point, but don't think it to mean that I like somebody has to
Mm-hmm.
feel
It's
pressure
not
to
Dave
join.
Ramsey.
Oh no 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 no! I
Yeah,
never that
yeah,
never in my head none at all.
yeah, yeah. I
Um.
like when people join. I like it's an opportunity for people to join. And as I say, it's
Mhm.
because I've always heard you list the podcast, I list a lot of stuff, and sometimes I'd love to be able to say something or make a point or ask a question or whatever. So it literally is just that.
Mhm.
But as long as the market stays interesting, and the market is forever interesting.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Sorry, Dana, you're not muted.
Oh, sorry.
Whatever you, yeah. So yeah, that's where it is. There's no. It's an open door. Everybody can and should come outside of like the trolls. Which, by the way, that point that Dana was making earlier, that I remember. I think that guy was trolling Dana. I don't think he was serious. I think maybe he was just being like hyperbolic. I think sometimes people think that they have to try and find a way to trick us into talking about a stock that they'd like us to, which is weird because again, you can just ask. You can just ask. I still pride myself on being able to speak on every company on the market, every security on the market. It's not like it's that difficult. You know, it's still a small amount. Growing, I like that, but smaller amount. Um,
Mhm.
and I know Danai can also, and Shay Sharp. So Shay, I hear you with that XU sometimes. Oh, I haven't really been looking at whatever. But as you will
I'm
learn when you
glad
do
you brought
this.
that up, I'm so glad you brought that up because exactly. If if I'm saying, and that's why I got to that point, because I'm like, well, I'm saying, I don't know if I can speak, cause such and all of that. And if I am saying that, then my guess is that other people are also saying that.
No, I know for a fact that people are saying that because people say it to me all the time. And like even you say to me, but I say it back to you and I say it back to people all the time that I have helped and spoken with and know so many people who say, boy, I'm not an expert like you, or like you and Dana, you and whatever. And then like I go back to them sometime 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later, when somebody else is saying, oh, I'm not an expert like you and so and so. And so and so is a person who 6 months before was saying, boy, I say, yo, it's not, you already know more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
You already know more than enough. So people see that there's nothing to be forced there. So I just, I'm actually interested here in what you, Shay, feel about from the company side of things, and from the stock market side of things, some secret profits. So one example I gave earlier, you weren't on for this, was the Select MD. Um, and then I were talking earlier also about like when Mayberry did its spin-off, MJE, that was quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote secret profit because it was right in front of everybody, but like, people didn't see it until it happened. And then when it happened, you get the profit, and wow, it's like, yo, how did you know? But it was
Mm-hmm.
obvious a year before. It was obvious way before, right? That profit is right there. Yeah, people want, I had a friend who said, in the really the stock marketing, his thing is bonds, right? Him like a nice bond, and he have a lot of money. So bonds is very rare, and you can't really make, you might can get lucky with some junior market stocks. I'm quoting him here, but
Exactly.
you can't really get that consistent income, blah blah blah, right? Anyway, ask him about him bonds, him yields. He never really know him yields. Him look on him yields, and you have some okay yields. Have some US, because again him have money, so him have some USD bonds and him have some JND bonds, private market stuff. What accredited investor stuff, and making him a 3%, a 4% bond, a 4.5% bond, blah blah blah. Um, and he looking at it and say, well, he wasn't looking at the yield, he was looking at the number, the actual payouts, the money you get back. I say, yeah, you see that? You see that money there? JC can't give me that, blah blah blah, right? Not that the number is okay, but it's not like JC can't give it. He just wasn't looking on the percentage gain at all, the yield at all. So when you show somebody like that the quote unquote secret of what some of the yields on the JSE look like, well, I can tell you in that specific case, they didn't click because they still didn't understand yield. Then when I explain it to them, well, before I explain it to them, I said, oh, I realized they weren't getting yield. They don't really know what yield is. Even though they know it, it didn't click in a real way to what it really is. So I tell him the money. So I say, that same money that's in that bond right there, if it was in Carreras, like everybody loves Carreras. If it was in Carreras, um, like let's say the money was 200,000 US as a payout, right? That's what they've been paid for the last year. As like, if that money was in Carreras, your payout would be like 800,000, right? Or 600,000, something bigger. And that's when it started to click. That's when it got to the secret. And of course, no careers, everybody no careers for the dividend, but you can't get shares in it, blah blah blah. And that's an opportunity. At least it was an opportunity for me then to show them that you can get shares every day. There are shares on market every day. But it was just a thing that was being said, right? So that for me was one example of seeing somebody else fall into a quote unquote secret that wasn't really a secret, but was a secret to them. And it was simply because they thought otherwise. Them think it go one way, even though it go a complete other way. And so they missed the thing that was right in front of them, right? And that was back then. Actually, I should link him back and point out to him now also the cap gains of if he was in Carreras back then. Because even like now, at this point, Carreras is the third best yield on the market. Real yield, like actual real money to your pocket yield. Third best yield from the start of the year till now. In terms of ordinary shares at least.
Incredible.
But the third. So you have two ahead of you have the GHL secret profits, right? That was also another example I had in mind of secret profits, of
The
another
dividend
twist on
stocks
the
that
term.
nobody pays attention to.
Yeah,
Or pay
yeah,
attention to.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So the example I
Actual
gave,
dividend
the
stocks.
example I gave of my brethren was something that a lot of people have read. They talk about a type of investing that is linked to really you're getting your gain via dividends, but then they're not really doing. If that's what you want, you're not doing the best version of that. Like you're settling for 1.9% dividend yield or bond yield after taxes and fees, but you love it because it says US dollars. But you could get the same yield or better on the stock market from many options at any given point in time, right? Like
With the possibility of cap gains
with the
beside it too.
exactly, and the cap gains that you can get in if you get it. I mean, it's from dividend levels also to multiples of dividend levels, right? Orders of magnitude bigger. But if you just want the quote unquote boring dividend, there's that too. And CPFV's dividend yield so far this year is 7.6%. Like as we speak right now.
Years now. You've been talking about that's stock,
Yeah,
Well,
so
the company is what you talk about more.
well, yeah.
Um,
The company and the
but yeah,
management company, yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
They have a
I have
hell of
another one. I have another one. I know you're going to love this one, because you know what is you get me into this.
what's that?
Very often, companies literally tell you incredible things that they're doing or have started doing or will do in the near future. Just lay it all out in the financial statements.
Yeah, almost constantly.
They just tell you. They just tell you. And often it just goes unnoticed, which
Almost
is very
always.
interesting.
Give me an example,
Yeah.
huh? Give me a real example.
Let's see. Example. Totally blanking right now. Let's see.
So think of just any event. There've been so many events.
Yeah, there have been so many events. All right, let's do one that was interesting. I guess it came out in the papers afterwards, like after a little bit. But I remember, um, what they called. Indies came out with a thing there, with a statement about, I think it was for the December quarter for the year, and basically they were saying, hey, that thing we talked about, the FDA approval and whatever, yeah man, it gone through, and it looks like the first order is going to be such and such money, and that's basically 18% of all the money we made last year. And nobody said anything about it until I think maybe the next week it came out in the papers, kind of.
I,
So that's one thing that was just there, and that's just something that they just said in the report.
yeah.
Let's see,
Well, if you
another
follow it up,
one.
well, hold on. If you follow up
Yes.
something like that is so simple. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a week or two later. There's years, literally years in advance. I think maybe a year or two before,
Mhm.
because the FDA process, in 2022
Yes.
or 2020, like the FDA process has been something that we've been watching from a long time, from
Mm-hmm.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no exaggeration, like for years. So that's also
Yeah,
an
because it
open
takes a
secret.
while.
Open secret there. You could tell how that would happen. No, I don't know if that would lead to any real profit, but there's like stuff like that is dead clear. Dead, dead clear, and yeah, it's hidden right there in the financials. The Select MD, Select F stuff also,
That
so many
those as
documents
well.
there. Yeah,
They just tell you. They just tell you what's going to happen.
like the base level stuff,
Or
it's just
yeah.
right here. And sometimes I go into detail, like the levels of detail that some
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sometimes no, well, that even people you'd expect to know might not even know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's right there. Or sometimes people that you'd expect to know say they don't know, and so that in itself tells you something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. And your business is not to know.
yeah. If it's your business to that's putting it a great way. Um,
And it's not always thing. It's sometimes it's warnings as well.
no, I
Sometimes
can't
it's
imagine any point in time. I Tell me something that was a surprise, a true surprise, no sign, or at least that you think was really a surprise, and I'll tell you if I at
surprise.
least it was a surprise to me.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise. I cannot think of anything that I could say. I just never ever ever heard anything about it until boom it happened.
I guess. Well, I do all my talking about stocks in the grow group. So in there, obviously, was something that we've been tracking for a long time. Um, just like the Select M and the Select F, and they
Mm-hmm.
they have long tails on where they're getting to here, and even and the whole thing is never done. So it's not like there isn't more to come. There's in fact in those cases, like here we said to Dana earlier that I don't even think that maybe the two big events that I'm waiting on I think are in the near future. Then this one, as Shay was talking, I thought was interesting. One that was quote unquote the open secret.
Mm-hmm.
S- Cygnus.
You know, all right. So I was going to go through. I was gonna say I was trying to
I was
brush up
going
just
to
now
talk about that
on
one day too.
why on exactly what led me to Cygnus in the way because again it was also a very big position of mine at that point, make a lot of money out of it, and so I was saying I was going to brush it back exactly why I went there. So, but yeah, there was a point with me and you were Mr. Cygnus, bro, which was still a joke for me because like I think about how we championed that one at and especially at the point where a lot of people were saying, "Nah, bro, there's nothing there." It was a lot of going off of the IPO never nice in the way they want it to be and all of that, right? But then we were there very heavily when we were there.
Hmm.
But yeah,
And
the thing that I want to check for me was try to remember exactly what was going on around it fully at the time. That made me say, "Yeah, man, I rushed to it." So yeah.
yeah, well, what did you find?
No. I just sat on the computer and I'm
Okay.
opening my reports back in the thing there. I know
Okay.
the
Well,
process is kind of.
Remember Cygnus did that APO too, So
And
for
the APO
me,
came out before those days.
exactly. So it's before those days.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the waves. I'm thinking about however, like the 5 year. 5 years and waiting from year one, from year zero, for something that
Mm-hmm.
will happen in 5 years. I remember when I
Mm-hmm.
called, come on, once. And they eventually did grow to, they
Ah.
linked me.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh
linked
yeah.
me and said, I said, after, they said, just one thing I want to know. I don't know if they said it on
Yeah, oh,
this,
you didn't
or they
know.
said that girl. Yeah, yeah. Just how did you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how you know, say it was going to go up in June, what was it, June 2024
Uh-huh.
or June 2023? Because they would have heard that's on BrickTalk, that's on earnings season.
Mm-hmm.
It's there recorded. Because they would have heard us talking about it from years before. In fact, they'd have heard me post APO
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Well, that dead." I'm not touching that share
Yep.
price for
In fact,
maybe another couple of years until
we've had
about
conversations with that
2024,
guy
June
around that because
2024.
he was in love with the stock. The thing I even told him at the time, yo, we used to love signals too, right? But it's not
Yeah,
a marriage.
exactly. But that is again an example of the secret profit, right?
Secret, yep.
Yeah, quote unquote secret profit. It's there. It's clear what's going to happen, and to me it's clear. I don't know. To me it's clear that it's going to happen and when it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also an example of something that if you'd have a lot of money, it would have allowed you to get it in at right or go and build up your money until the right time. And Cygnus itself, at least over the last um, few years of predictions, have been so almost clockwork. So
Mm-hmm.
you can make the money elsewhere and bring it into Cygnus around
Boom.
this time, and boom, you get X gains on it if you are paying attention to the signs and
Mm-hmm.
read the documents. In the case of that APO thing, it was like the, I tell people to go and listen to the old episodes. Listen to the episode where we talk about Cygnus, and on it I say as years in advance I say yeah I'll probably buy it around March or April
Mm-hmm.
2024 or 2023, whichever year it was. I say,
It was
or I say,
2023.
not
I think it was
2024.
2020. No, because we weren't having break. It wasn't. It was 2024.
No, as in when I said I would be, I said then that I'd be going back into it in 2024.
Okay, probably.
Yeah, so
Probably.
that it would
No,
have been.
what the thing I think about is his how did you know moment? I know it happened before 2024.
No, yeah, man, no. But so he's saying, how did
And
I
I hear you
know?
saying the other
Because
thing you had
yeah,
spoken
3 years
about.
before, 3 years, I think is
Mm-hmm.
if not four, it would have been maybe 2020 or 2021. And yeah, I remember they're on, and I said, yo,
But think about that,
yeah,
like
I threw my money
there's
there.
so much moments in Signal since from ever since from IPO from this IPO happened. I I remember selling Signals right after the IPO, and I'm one of the others I get through before this IPO before this IPO flop conversation for Signals
Mm,
happened because it got up a little bit and then trades happen and or you didn't know say must leave because this thing was so great, but in reality, and then after that, so much other points around there that every single point is a secret. It is a secret thing. Cause you buy the IPO, but then it's a secret that you must sell at this right time, or boy, you're in for it to sit down and watch the price fall. And then the several things coming up for Signals, they're gonna make a lot of profits off of it. Big secret, what we were buying.
yeah.
APO, boy, the man talk about the Signal, so the APO at man the price down and they don't really like it again.
But the
But
APO was a
Randy I
real
say, oh,
spanner in the
but
works.
but then, and then
Yeah.
and then but then Randy I say, say I don't like this in all he's not liking it at the moment and him boy him not really think it's gonna away right now. Him still about data, he's going to buy it because him say profit is there. Why? Big secret.
Yeah, they tell you. They're gonna they
They
told
tell you.
yeah. Yeah, that's around the buyback. And the funny thing is, even those things, around the buyback, what again, if you listen to the early episodes, I explain what my thinking was and what the actual thinking around the buyback was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how you hear people talk about buybacks now, it's not along the same lines. And in
Mm-hmm.
many ways, I'm thankful that it's not along the same lines.
Yeah, keep it a
Because
secret.
they're keeping the secret by missing the point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the buyback was a good one. I actually bought it back. But as I said, I made profit then 4 years later. So never buy it for 3 years, sold everything, and then buy it back. I made more in 1 month or two, yeah, about a month, if not less, 3 weeks. Made more in that month than the people would have been sitting in it for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I buy it again at this point. I buy it almost every year and sell it
Mm-hmm.
almost every year. This year was very interesting with them and the USD, which
Indeed.
is sorry. Go ahead, Shay.
I was just saying, yeah, indeed, this year was interesting. Early, I think. Don't remember the exact date, but this year was a little.
Well, what's this? What was it? What was it from your point of view?
From my point of view, I think this year it behaved differently in terms of the timing
The timing. So that's
of
what do you think
of
is happening? I mean, it's fine to say it, you know. It's not. It's a quote unquote secret. It's not really a secret.
So it's out there already.
what do I think is happening.
Yeah. What's the like you said this year? What happened this year? What is the point this year that we're talking about?
Oh, the share price increased earlier this year,
Yeah, it did.
and the volumes are with the higher share price in was earlier in the month of whatever month it was.
June.
June. June.
May heading into June. Yeah, it's around the year end. So
May.
there's a signal share
Yeah.
buyback.
Mm-hmm.
So the annual share buyback. But the first buyback, I think it's annual, but they're kind of doing it annual. But the first buyback was slated for I think 5 years after IPO, 5 years after
Mm-hmm.
listing,
Mhm.
and then they have certain terms around it. I think every 3 years thereafter they have to do another one. And so that mark happened. And so how they've been doing it since is because it can be an extended thing, and they've chosen to do it extended. It lasts 3 years, and then you renew it at the end of that
Mm-hmm.
point if they don't change the articles. Um, Bottom line is how they're doing it is usually closer to their year end, and their year end, I believe, is in June. And so
So
you tend to see some rises around that time.
Yes.
Uh, but you see, but Shay, you kind of well, you have
year
to
end
know what the thing, Sorry, say that again. Say that again, Dana.
year end is June. Year end is June.
Yeah, man. No, I know that. I know their year end is June. That one I wouldn't be able to forget.
Mm-hmm.
And the share price did rise dramatically, if you will, from
Mm-hmm.
11.54 to 13.35 between June 24 and June 30th.
I think that thing you just said,
Uh-huh.
yeah, probably what I'm talking about is I think that trips people up. The dramatically from 11 to 13. I don't money that, bro.
That's true. Barely anything, quote unquote.
$11, 13. You know, make no money do that.
Us-
What $2? Come out of my face.
Yeah, that's true.
to be honest, what I like is the volume of cash that you can move.
What do you mean?
You can move in a higher level than a lot of stocks of money in and out of it during that time than and just unnoticed basically.
Well, some of us
I
notice.
like
Yeah.
Who are doing notice, you know? You're
Yeah.
talking to Mr. Signals
Some
himself.
people, yeah, some people pay attention to the market, so you see
well,
every.
yes, I sit down and watch the queue them. So yes, if a new order is there, yes.
Well, I don't do that, but
No, but it's a buyback. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily every single day in Signals. I think Randy's talking about around a certain event that has been happening. And
Mm-hmm.
the,
Yeah.
and the thing I like about things like that, because there's a certain level of
But
guarantee
what
around
I'm
it.
saying is if you do 11 to 13 on $1 million, it's the same percentage, but it's not the same level of money that you're making. That's not the same amount of money you're making if
yeah,
you're doing it with
Mm-hmm.
$10 million.
that's true. That's true. But I mean, you do it with the money that you have, so the percentage is the same for
Yeah, man.
everybody.
Yeah. Of
So
course, of course, of
Yeah.
course,
no,
of
I think
course.
what Shady Reed saying here is that she have a good amount, and sometimes she can't put her a lot of her good amount to every single play. So you see, your portfolio gets to a certain point that sometimes you look for certain events because you can you can move a certain amount into that on the back of that event versus some like it's not necessarily common that boy they can just make that move.
Yeah.
Just it's not fighting this. So like
So there are times when you can move larger volumes
larger
in some
volumes.
stocks. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
boy on a regular day you couldn't buy $10 million worth of this thing, but boy,
Or
GK
you
doing
couldn't
this
sell.
thing, say buy GK with the $10 million.
Yeah, you couldn't sell 10 mil. But I mean, the volumes are fairly consistent, I think, with
Mm-hmm.
that. Well, fairly consistent in that there are times when there are larger volumes. And this year,
Mm-hmm.
well, this year, the interesting thing, I think, was that, for me at least, that it was, I think that they maybe did their buyback around the USD side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
So that was my joke
that's true.
around all this.
That was
yeah.
also
I was going to say,
interesting.
so Randy sell you out. In USD trader, you talk about, I thought, well, yeah, man, you can do it in JMD, but here he is. Moving
Yeah,
his USD.
yeah. Which is also another quote unquote secret profit on the market,
Another
right?
leg
The
on the
USD
market
market. Yeah, man,
that's
the
been
USD
built out
market.
and doing things. Like, see, Justin came last
Yeah,
week and said himself, use the market like Campbell.
yeah. Himself as a personal cambio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Which is
USD
another.
side.
I don't know if that's an actual. Well, obviously it's not a secret. They're saying it here in public.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not a secret, but I don't know how
So
many
we
people
can
know
See,
about
call
it.
I
that
think it's
secret
a
profit
secret in the
as
way of
well.
when he says that people don't know what he's talking about. A lot of people don't know what you mean. How you use the market as a Campbell, bro. What you mean by
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could call that secret profit as well, to be
I mean, not
honest.
even call it. I think it is.
Yeah, that
Because,
one actually is.
yeah, cause
Okay.
we're talk about that. Like, and even
uh,
and there's a reason he's doing this. Why it became his Campbell, and he's not going to Campbell anymore to change the money, right? There must be something good about this specific thing he's done here. That's
Mm.
better than going to the actual Campbell.
yeah, not with Cygnus though, but yeah, and
I,
it's actually so it's funny. There aren't many things that I would that I think that might actually be a secret. Like I almost don't even want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it last week, and I almost don't want to talk about it
to
now
be
either.
honest, yeah, I'm actually being somewhat cagey here.
And I don't like that. I don't want to be I
You're
don't
right,
want to be cagey.
we're never those guys, are we? So
Yeah, but it really is a legit, like a legitimate. I legitimately think that it's. I didn't want to explain why I wouldn't want to talk about. But he's spoken about it publicly before. He's spoken about it with hundreds of people, and yeah, there are dual currency stocks on the market, um, including AS Bryden that just completed its listing on the Trinidadian market, which is that's a top secret profit.
mm-hmm.
That's an example of secret profits. What you took a look at that?
Go again.
Have you taken any look at that?
To some degree, I don't even know what you were talking about exactly.
Well, all right, just the listing of
Uh
AS
huh.
Bryden on the Trinidadian market,
Yeah. So see, man, you're making me into that guy again because I kind of don't want to say what I'm thinking right now. But I'm the guys that own AS Bread, Trinidad.
which is no
They
secret.
have their own personal
Separate.
Cambio now, right? So are we
What do you
talking about
mean
the
by
same
that?
thing? Or are you
What do you
talking
mean
about?
by that?
If I came to
I
me
am talking
and
about the
say
same.
anything, then are you talking about
I
that?
am talking about the same company. I was going to say that,
Okay.
but,
No, so,
but
okay,
I
so,
was
so you're
talking about the
saying you're
same
happy that you
company.
can buy AS brand in Jamaica and sell it in Trinidad. Case
What
closed.
I was saying, what I was saying was that AS Bryden has listed it now on the Trinidadian market, and they
Mm-hmm.
listed by introduction. What I was asking if you'd take a look at it was
Mm-hmm.
because I was wondering what price did it introduce? What was it introduced
Okay.
at?
That exactly. Yeah, I haven't checked that yet.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm,
but
I'm
yeah,
not 100% sure.
you start opening Campbell's though. That's what. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was wondering, what price what price they listed on the Trinidadian market at.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as life about to be in secret profit because I suspect somewhere in that group there's gonna be some that's a well, I'm forgetting the financial term for it, but that's an event, right? That's a specific market event. The listing on the Trinidadian market. That's a public market. That's a level one valuation moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
what I was saying was that I wouldn't say I'm sure. I'm hoping that somewhere in that group, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in that group there is at least one entity that's going to be utilizing that level one event
Mm-hmm.
as a valuation point.
Yeah,
Which,
those guys use the market, more than a lot of people do. You know,
yeah.
that's I really like. I really like that group. We've always said this because of they have a lot of intention behind the plays that gets people. It's not necessarily spoken about as very often now, but they have very strong intention behind the things they do, and if you follow it, you can make a good amount on the back of those intentions. Like just what you just said.
Yeah, that valuation point.
Mm-hmm.
And they have another company in Trinidad, no, the group here talking about.
Yep.
What do
Yep.
you call that group? What is that group?
The
What's a
the insurance
public?
guy.
What's a public? I would say that group, and you said those guys. What's a what's a, what's an acceptable for public speaking name for that group? Because it's not just separate. It was maybe the Massey group. Not Massey.
Not
Sorry,
Massey.
not
Your
Massey.
name
Not
again.
Massey at all.
The Muslim guy.
Mussins.
Mm-hmm.
Mussins Massey.
Sharp as the blades.
Oh. um. So yeah, the Mussins group is
Mm-hmm.
they have an insurance footprint in Trinidad already, right?
Yep. Yep.
They
And that's
own.
dope. I always spoken openly about that one, so I think people should be happy there. Just the kind of thing you can do it, the real Buffett method. I have an
Warren
insurance.
Buffett.
Yeah, I have
Yes.
insurance. And insurance faces a lot. Insurance is investments, and you can do a lot just by having an insurance group. And you said insurance is new banking. It really is.
That's a couple of years ago, but yeah.
Just having
Yes.
just them having the footprint they have, and them
Uh-huh.
having an insurance. They've built up an insurance thing around all of that. Like when CPFV was listing, that was boring to a lot of people. It was not boring to them. And look what they did with like separate and the gifting the dividend, the shares given as a dividend and all of that.
Yeah, but look what they continue to do.
Yep.
CPFE has the highest dividend yield on the local market in ordinary shares.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
And
they're
with that,
Barbadian. I don't think there's tax on it. I could be wrong, but I don't think there's tax on it. So
I don't
7.6%
think
as
so
of
either.
today. When I say 7.6%, but it's like my internal calculations. Like, this is the real yield. Like if you're buying the
Mm-hmm.
thing, this is the real yield. If you
Yeah.
if you work it based on today's price, you're not gonna get
Yeah. I get
7.6%.
where.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but
You
this
get
is
where
this is
you
the
get where
real yield.
you get where you read that. You say you get.
Yeah. um.
That Genac, like look what Genac, look at Genac, right? Junior market company built out across the thing there. Now they have a strong property portfolio and everything there. And on the back of we have an insurance. We have an insurance. What do you call it? Group.
I mean, well, you call it whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking of it. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. That. I think I'm lost in trying not to speak about it. How I want to speak about it. So I think I ruined it for myself a bit.
It is. It is hard to speak about outside of what I speak. Yeah. You. Well, I don't know why. I don't know why you're afraid to speak about it. But I understand it's a careful conversation, regardless. But yeah, they do. It would be an insurance group because Genac does have a Trinidadian.
Mm-hmm.
Is a subsidiary or at least associate, if not subsidiary, by this point. And I think it's the company that insures all the taxes in Trinidad, or most of the taxes in Trinidad, right? A1 or something one. I forgot the name of it. Also, Genac isn't junior market anymore, are they? They're not junior market anymore. Didn't they graduate? And that's
Mm-hmm. I mean, I did say look at junior market because it's
at the
you know
start.
my usual. Everybody thought on junior market companies, and then
Yeah,
look where a
yeah,
lot of them are now.
yeah, yeah. But that's also another good example of a secret,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote, secret profit,
Yeah.
meaning hidden in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
There are two versions of that. One of them I'll tell you in the girl group, but the other one I answer publicly is the secret of them. Like they graduated, they moved to the main market. Why would you do that?
The thing about
So
the junior
just
market
for
has certain
context,
constraints, right? You want to raise some money. You want to have a certain level of what you call it again, sheer capital. Is
it
it?
only has one constraint, really.
Yeah.
There's really just
Okay.
one
Yeah. I'm sorry.
constraint. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, you want to raise some more money beyond the money beyond the amount that the junior market limit stipulates that you can. So.
Yeah. There's one benefit. Well, there's one benefit and one constraint.
Mm-hmm.
That's the balance.
Yeah.
You get the 10-year tax break, and you get the 10 years of tax break, and the constraint is you limited how much you can raise
Mm-hmm.
publicly via equity. And so if you have that limitation, and they didn't give up the tax break, by the way,
They
right?
did not. Nope.
No, they didn't. It's beyond stupid in my view to give up a tax break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just that's not something that you do. But yeah, Genac finished their time on the junior market, and then they chose to graduate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They
No,
finished the time in the tax break, and they chose to graduate.
exactly. But I don't think they were on it for longer. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
people talk about the graduation
I,
thing in such a way that
I'm being a stickler for that exact point. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm seconding you with that point. It's they chose to graduate because their tax break was up like from a long time. I think like 2020 or 2021. Memory serves me. Yeah, 2021 is when it was up, but they didn't graduate until 2023. They didn't move to the main market until 2023, and you don't have to move to the main market at all. So them choosing to do it, and best believe I'm pretty sure that they know that you don't have to move to the main market. So the fact that they chose to do it is telling, in my view. And that telling point is I think future obvious future thing, right? Of course, these days in the APO days, it's so scary that they might choose to do an APO. So there's always that monster now to look out for. But raise, I think, is the obvious thing, and there's a whole lot of other secret profits, including the fact that if they have a Trinidadian arm, and then so Tim, is Brighton considered a is Brighton considered a sister company
To who?
to
Separate.
the Trinidadian Genac?
Oh, Trinidad. I guess so. They're under the same group.
Yeah, I guess there would be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a sister company. I think there's some shareholding there too. Not
Mm-hmm.
a shared shareholding, but I think Genac owns. So
I think
anyway,
they own some air right, don't they?
I think so. Not sure.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember. That moves around at will. But
It's part of why I immediately thought of the thing there. As you said, some people can benefit from the valuation situation.
exactly. And Ace Bryden stood on the Trinidad stock market and nothing, not a peep. Granted, the Trinidad stock market is it's not as active as the Jamaican stock market. However, it's a public listed market. It's a level one
Mm-hmm.
valuation.
Mm-hmm.
And who owns all the shares? Who just did a share buyback of Ace Bryden shares? About a year and a half after listing,
Yep.
said Ace Bryden shares.
Or not buy back. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. That's an example of, I think, of the signs of future
Those
secret profits.
the thing I think about right now then is, you know, like I need to check. Is insurance? I need to check.
What are you thinking?
I was thinking what Genaf owns overall.
They own
And
a
how
lot
they
of things.
hold them and all that. That's an interesting line to work.
They
And
own a lot of things. Yeah.
yeah,
They
and
own. They
even
own.
think about what they think. Forgot you?
They had one of the top stakes, and still have one of the top stakes of Atlantic Hardware,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Yeah.
hold that as an investment. So the
Yeah.
movement in the share price
Mm-hmm. As they
should
should.
directly,
Insurance.
as they should.
That's the not so opium of
It's very
insurance.
very much opium.
It's opium, but it's also not.
Yeah, they're the third largest owner of Atlantic. They own 11.94%, at least as at last report.
Mm-hmm.
11.94% of the shares, the total shares in Atlantic, which means the book value, the book and valuation, which
It's
is also a secret, open secret. Or maybe that's just opening for the people who don't grow.
what's happening to me now is that it's a lot of conversations we haven't had openly that I'm thinking of. So then I'm not, my mouth stop. So like I think about, imagine they get a bank or an investment. I know the usual builders of an investment of that type of group, financial group. Like they are right there for that. And it to do the buffet, they start with insurance. And then we even gone to life insurance, right? Health
Very,
insurance.
very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized Judsa has been in here patiently waiting for
Quite
how
a while,
long?
indeed.
Hey everyone,
I teach, how you doing?
I'm here now. It was very interesting listening to you, and then I have no complaints about that.
And I'm happy to hear
um,
that.
yeah, man. I just wanted to add a little bit to when you were talking about um, why do you really get to the point sometime where you want to share about your profits? What change? Why you'd want to actually talk about it?
Hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
for me, like it's kind of twofold. One, I just wish sometimes somebody will see it and understand that this is a viable way of making some money. It is not very, very hard. Go ahead, you can make some money. And two, well, some persons who are not in any spaces that are very far removed from spaces where stock is spoken about, like they can learn about it. So you get that? You understand that?
Yeah, I get it. I'm happy to hear that different view.
All right. So like I remember probably a few months ago when dollar was consistently, consistently between $2.36.34 and $2.80. It did that almost every day, every single day it did that. And I remember I put a tweet about it. I mean, I wrote out every single thing like I was ranting because I just got tired of people just not seeing the profit and just not taking it up. And it's like right there. Why would you not just take it up? Just go and take it up. So, like I wrote out, you buy at, and I wrote the exact thing $2.36 multiplied by 1.13 to take care of your fees. You get your 10%.
Hmm.
um Worked out what it would be. It's right there somewhere. If you, I can't even find the tweet, but I wrote out all of it. You know,
Yeah, my money J did that for you automatically too. But
the,
what's that? Yeah, go. Yeah.
But I mean, I just say like person sometimes will hear us like and know that oh that is the nerd girl that talk about stuff some of the time. So I'm just trying to make it a little easier, show them how it works. I call the name of the stock. I tell them where I said if you buy it here, it's going and it did it for probably a whole month, you know. Sometimes it's not every day, but every other day. 2 days would not have passed and it would not have gone there. Till and that was really, really good. 10%. And you know that dollar has volume, decent volume, almost every time, you know. I mean, and decent volume is like when I talk about it, I talk about people putting in 100,000, 200,000, that sort of thing and getting out there 10%. Cause that is what I normally say. Check out my small profit, pay a internet bill, put two bills to put two profits together, two 10% together, pay a light bill, you know, that sort of basic stuff. And it was just so very obvious all the time. Just to understand sometimes how people rather to beg or to do other things more than, you know, especially persons who are aware of what they can do for themselves. So that's one way that I do. Um, outside of that though, I try to go into places where people don't hear about stuff. So I am, as you know, I'm a teacher. So I try to go into schools and tell them about it, talk to the principals and say, do you want us to do a session? I mean, you know, and get them to understand. And most times they are very interested, even if they have to, you know, come up with some kind of logistics shifting around at the students, etc. They are very interested in that. For me, last year going into this year, they are interesting times because students and teachers I can speak to, they have no idea about stock, equity portfolio, nothing at all about that. So we're going get some persons to come and we do basic stock introduction. So persons hopefully, even if they remember just one or two things that the speaker says, because nobody 9 to 5, well, very few persons 9 to 5 job will cut it for them. So we hope that they will see when we intervene in these schools with these youngsters that the profits are there. It might look that as if it is a secret, but once they get to understand some of the terms and you know the explanations that myself or the team that I care will actually give them, hopefully they will realize that it is not so much of a secret and the money is there in front of their eyes um to be made. You know, I even
Hmm.
saw this guy. Was it yesterday? Texting, tweeting, and talking about how he had a youngster who wanted to invest 250,000, and he has put it out there, and nobody don't answer him. And if you were talking about something else, probably persons would have answered. A lot of people honestly don't know, but the profits are there, and it seems like they are secret. But when people get understanding of what the market is about, it really isn't any big secret. Yeah, that's
Until it
just
suddenly is again.
right until it suddenly is. Yeah. Um. So, for example, let me give you a example of when you were talking about companies that put stuff out there, but because of course we are not from a reading culture, we don't want to read anything. So if I will say something, a lot of people will not engage. They will just come and DM me and say, what you think about me doing this? Me not have no thoughts on you doing that. You have to do something more than just that. You understand? Right. So like for example, let me look at one. Like Pastrich. Pastrich, yes. Pastrich report was very bad, if
Oh
my
no.
memory.
Surprise, surprise.
And but if you read the report, it would have told you how they are intricate with NHT, right? And for me, when I read it, I can see that if some of these things come to fruition, then of course it would be a heyday, a very good time for phosphate. So of course,
What kind of things you mean? Things like I know that there's like like you buy the house and with your initial mortgage you also get like a water heater.
right, and they outlined it that well, for me it did not categorically say they had the NHT contract for the X amount of homes. They did not
Uh,
categorically say that, which is a little problematic. They did allude to certain things like that. So for
well,
example, yeah.
no, go through. I don't think that I don't. In fact, I could be wrong, but I don't think there's any such thing as a NHC contract for that. But
Right.
even if there were, I'm not as put off by them not saying it.
Okay,
But
right.
yeah,
But they have a lot of information there that you can say, all right, you can read it and interpret it for yourself because what they're doing is out there. The other one that came out was a surgery. I didn't hear any surgery news for such a long while. Probably one of the little disappointing newer stuff. But then I know the quality of the product that surgery has. That's for me personally. Then Poetry was where was it? 80 cent went down to, as a matter of fact, I think it even went down to like 70 something. Probably even lower, I don't know. And then it came out that this is what we are doing. We hope to do so and so and so and so. And the day that I saw the news, it was still at 88 cents, probably even a little low. And I'm like, why would that news come out and people don't hurry up and get into it? Almost like there is this delay. I mean, come on, you read it, you interpret it, act on it. And then now, like probably the next day towards probably an hour or so into trading, you know, see trading up at $1. I think today probably even went up to like $1.30. So the person who would have stayed with it or bought it at like 78, 80 cents, it is now
hmm
trading up as high as $1.30 something. I don't remember how high it went today. But
$1.31, $1.38, I think.
oh,
$1.30. I soon tell you. So it's your fault. No, we tell you say the grower group that join it. I mean, we talk about it. It's not a surprise to us in that group.
right.
In fact, I spoke about it and I bought some based on a conversation we were having in group, and that was July. So I bought some in July, and where are we
So
now?
that
August.
mean, that mean you got it between like 78 and 82 around there, so you bought it?
I don't have it in front of me, but I'm gonna say yes. I can actually tell you the exact price, and I
What
bought
was
it.
NCB?
No,
More than
no.
that.
Uh,
More than that.
you saw it.
I said NCB because I remember Jutsa's comment last week about she tried to hear about NCB basically,
Yeah, she wanted an example other than
other
NCB.
than NCB.
Other than NCB, because I mean, come on, we're not gonna put no fundamentals on whatever. I'm not going into that. NCB was a dream, and it was a dream.
A dream
And we
or a
said, you
nightmare.
probably
I think the dream again. Remember, the
well,
secret doesn't leave. It's another
well,
secret. It becomes another secret.
well,
Yeah.
I I look at it both ways. That is why I monitor my portfolio, because what is an opportunity to you is not necessarily an opportunity to somebody else. So sometimes it just depends on where you're at.
And the other way around too.
And the
So
other way around. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you find where you buy it at? Where you bought this Poetry at?
Sorry, I easily get distracted. Um, I'll tell you 1 second, but I know it's maybe 80 something cents, if not lower. Yeah, I bought it July 11th, July 11th.
Mm.
So
Mm.
anybody who we can go on my money JA and check out the July 11th trades in Spurtree. You can one of
Right.
them must be me. And they're not that many on July 11th, by the way. That went on July 11th, and it's 90 odd cents. So I bought it as making a point at the time in the group, and sometimes I do that just to remind myself about going back to a stock, or like going back to a point, or like to follow up. That's one of the things that made the girl group good, is the follow up. So it's not just this is something that we've done. Like these things happen. I'm constantly referencing past conversations to show how this sort of thinking then, and this sort of research, and this sort of thing, what we're seeing now, those things then would have helped you predict what you're seeing now, right? And so yeah, I had bought that. I had bought it then, and I bought it and told myself to buy more anytime it
More.
trade down. And
Right.
it traded down as far as 84 and 85 and 83 in
Mm-hmm.
July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And is, if you have the money, you could have, so if you bought it at 98 cents, you'd have been up almost 34 percent, right? About no. The
Yeah.
the information is out there. But as I said before, a lot of persons
I mean, I can
don't
tell you,
want to read.
it's nothing a secret. I'm up.
Mhm.
What is this? After taxes and fees, I'm up 23.4%.
Look at that. Look
Yeah,
at that.
and it was again. I did it for the girl group, and I did it for a specific point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's just a reminder thing. But yeah, I mean, I'll take it. A little profit is not bad. Bills come every month. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and 23% is no joke, right? Well, if I had followed through and done
and
seriously
bought
what I
more.
thought, yeah,
Mhm.
man, I would have been buying more, and I'd have been buying more in the 80s. So I'd have been averaging down, so it would have been even greater
Even greater
percentage
profit.
gain. Yeah, and I don't think that's virtually necessary. Like I don't think it's done tomorrow, right? There's more to come.
There is
Yeah.
actually more to come, and I think he made specific mention to by the end of the year, this is what we want to do. So it's not, it's just an overnight thing, as you said.
Oh,
It is.
you're talking about at the AGM.
No, I don't even know where I read the information. I just read the information. I didn't attend the AGM.
No, no, oh yeah, but I mean, if this is a recent
Yeah,
thing, they had their AGM, so anything that you'd have been
right.
hearing
Was
would
from the
be,
AGM.
yeah,
All right. So even then, people just have to sometimes I wonder if all of us in the stock environment only speak to persons that have stock, because there are so many persons in Jamaica, as you say, probably 25% or less of us that is actually into stocks, etc. Investment this kind of way. And
yeah,
for me, that is why I will continue to try and take it to different little schools, high schools I'm talking. So, just get them affair with it, even if they don't do anything just now,
hmm,
probably as soon as they start work, by the in their 20s and probably hear the word, they can now say, hold on, when I was in fourth form or third form, somebody spoke to me about that. Let me go and find out. You understand? And
yeah,
that would be better. It's always a learning thing. Sometimes on Twitter, I just do it honestly to say, people, you can really do better more than this.
yeah. Well, I
Maybe
mean,
you
that's why
do.
I do it. I do the same thing. I phone at schools, I talk at high schools, I talk at colleges, I talk to employees, I do all kinds of things for free. I do some stuff for
Right.
charities. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, sometimes actually it's actually hard, and the schedule law is allow for it, but I do as much as I can
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
can. And because yeah, that's a good reason. It helps other people to really get into it. And just to get the two numbers that you correct, one that what you just said about the number of people who are in the market, like it's much smaller than that. It's 2.7 million Jamaicans, maybe roughly 10%, is 270
Wow.
grand. I think maybe over
Mm.
300 grand, maybe over
Wow.
300,000 accounts, but it's not active, right? Maybe a tenth of that is active.
Right. That is true. That is
Yeah.
it. And how much
So
people dead and gone and something that is not up to date.
exactly.
Yeah, that is true. That
Exactly.
is very true.
So maybe a
Very,
tenth of that is
very true.
actually active. And you have people who like, a lot of people open the account for Trans Jamaica or for Wigton, and that's the
No,
first time them look at it and the last time them
last
look at
time.
it.
The
Yeah.
last time. And then now you have some persons who have like 6, 8 accounts.
Yeah,
One
man.
person.
Yeah, we have
so
one
the
bridging of
number.
14 account. But them say him can't run for Prime Minister, and them find that out. But yeah, but
But
they have people who are like that, and so yeah, can like for me, my one of my dreams is like if we had 30% of the country with accounts, and like maybe yeah, even just if we had 10% of the people
mhm, mhm.
of the population of the country actively investing. Can you imagine that 270,000 active
Yeah.
investors?
Probably what will happen that can be achieved. But you remember how they used to do the thing there at primary school, prep school
That me
level?
said last week, Judson.
JN, the
That me
JN
Yeah,
said
thing.
last week.
Yeah,
Everyone
man.
yeah.
should be doing that,
And
but instead of
that we
yeah, the
broke as
bank
them.
account situation. And I think we need a
Exactly.
culture shift. I think I
It
think I think
is.
it needs to be a point where people look at it a certain way.
But
Versus
we
I
are,
grow
Exactly.
up, I never really know about this thing. So by the time I come here, you're telling me it's additional thing about being an adult, and I really can't be bothered with that. It does something I
Exactly.
express more than anything else.
yep.
That that
But
that's
but that's why people like us are important for this. That's why conversations like these are important. Yo, that
Mhm.
if you know how many, it's that reason that is one of the strongest reasons why there is still even a brick talk now.
Mm-hmm.
I remember say, oh yeah, I'm doing this so that there are people that will hear about it. I think about it. I hope she listening. I think about the star lady who said she listened to Brick Talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It did blow my mind. I hope she listening now. Listen to the kid. Yeah, those people are the reason why it's done because those are the people that it really helps, right? Yeah, again,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a big money thing. It's a everybody thing.
Yeah, it's just a mental. I remember like they say like Trans Jamaica. Not even Trans Jamaica, we can. Like I remember the amount of people that came in, and yeah, it was really a broad amount of people. Like people, I remember opening accounts for star people, and the usual source of all two people specifically in my mind come to mind. They run a style, each of them close to each other, and they had to figure out how do we get how me tell you how much money I'm earning and all that thing.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, how did they find it out? Because
No,
you
yeah,
find
that
out
was
that
part of it.
star people are
I think it was
really
thing there. It was
star people are really poor.
yeah, it was check your bank presence. So that's a big part of it. Because them deposit some of the money. Them deposit a good amount of the money and whatever. Them know what them buy, so they could show a good amount of that.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
And
have
of
to
course,
reach
The
people.
JP was involved in signing some of those things that they brought in.
Of course, under the law.
Of course.
Uh, the second number before I forget it, Jigsaw. The second
Mhm.
number that is that I should correct is shout out to the Trinilink. The Trinilink who correct me to say that AS Bryden will be listing. They're not listed yet. They will be listing August 29th. And that's 100% correct. But remember, the key secret point is what is the price that they're being introduced at?
Mm-hmm.
August 29th. That's such an interesting date. The last business day of the month. And 4 weeks before. Huh. Yeah. The separate group, the I don't know what you call them, the Mussins group, their secret profit. That they have secret structure. I just should have secret structures. I don't know them having any secret structure. It's all above board. It's all clear. It's just when you look at what they have,
It's
like
just
if you map it
who will
out,
look.
if you map out how the thing is built, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of that I said, like I said it last year before when the first Ace Biden CPJ thing had come out, and I was pointing out to them. I said, "Yo, look at like that sort of planning. It's obvious, and it will be one of those things that's obvious in hindsight. But before it becomes hindsight, it's a quote unquote secret. Everybody and them cousin know if you read the news. Oh, it's so hard to get US dollars in Trinidad. Ace Biden is a Trinidadian company bought by Seprad. What did Seprad then have Ace Biden buy? CPJ. What does CPJ earn completely in? US dollars. In Jamaica, where we don't have those US dollar problems. And then after that, they list the AS. Some of the things I saying, God, I don't want to waste it saying it publicly, but I mean, after that, as we know, they're now doing the AS Bryden Trinidadian listing. So if it's all one group, if GNAC is sister company to AS Bryden, then CPJ is subsidiary to AS Bryden. So the Trinidadian company has a Jamaican subsidiary that earns primarily in US dollars. I feel like that's one Trinidadian company that doesn't have any US dollar problems. Isn't that crazy?
The money don't change you, a money changer.
Can you imagine how big a competitive advantage that must be within the Trinidadian market space?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Every single one of your competitors, good, bad, or ugly, every single one of them have US dollar troubles. You don't.
Yeah, they probably themselves. They're good.
You saw you don't. And you don't have a problem. Wow. That's like, that's like a manufacturing company opening up in the Jamaican market, but they
And
don't have.
Them don't have energy cost problems.
Yeah, they don't have electricity problems. Like them coming day one with the entire factory is green.
Yeah. Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
Ooh. But guess what?
You can become Trinidad at that point,
But hold on. Energy in Trinidad is really cheap.
Yes, sir. You can become Trinidad at that point.
But Separate is a manufacturing company, though.
I see. Make no sense, no.
I hear they build up these massive warehouses in Trinidad since being bought.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. It's like I know I had to carry a lot of stuff, so I bought a bigger bag. And all of this is a secret that's right there in the financials and in front of everybody. Anyway, we have been going for a long time. I see everybody. Obviously, we couldn't get the video going, guys, but I see.
So everybody has any emoji.
No, but I know I was about to. I know I'm tired, so I know we're wrapping it up. I don't know if we interrupted you or if you want to finish up your point. If anybody want to send a last message, yeah, man.
Come on, that was basically what I was looking at and saying, why we share. I
Well,
mean, it might not reach a lot of people every time, but at least, probably one person in a year or so. I don't know, but we have to keep on doing it so that persons can always just learn and be interested and say, it's not a secret. If they're talking about it on BrickTalk, they're tweeting it, they're going into schools and saying it. It must be not easy, but it is there, not a secret. And I just like how they are profiting. Because like if I go on a vacation, I well, I my job would not allow me to go on a vacation. And every time I go on a vacation, I will say something ridiculous about Jamaica Stock Exchange, or if I make a flip in the day, I will tell you what I flipped. Not all the time. Some enough time and I have time or energy, but I will tell you what it is in the week. What did we do in the week? What did I do in the week? Is there anything good this week? There's a lot and lot and lot and lot of stuff.
boys,
But
it's beyond me how you still keep up this weekly thing.
I've got my bills to pay. What do you mean?
No, you're
I have,
100% right. You're
I've got my
100%
bills
right.
to
It's just
pay. You know? Yeah. Got my
Yeah.
big son in university. Come on, got this today.
No, hey, no,
But
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just think about how as Dan I was saying here, say, you can't make no real money on the local market. Well, here you are. Nobody ever tell you, so you went ahead and did it.
Mm-hmm.
man, like I wasn't not even today when tropical sold down, but tropical is a nice one. I think I made like 13%, well, probably 10, 11% after tax. As me tell you, that's my 10%. Made tropical, I think we did. What was it? So $1.55, and
Mm-hmm.
then we sold, 13% up or something like that.
Whew.
It is there, and that was not today. That was yesterday. Um, I do try at times to aim to see if every week I can do something, regardless, you know, just do something at 10%. Sometimes it really doesn't work out, but then there are other times when you get, where man say, put in 2 million, get out three. That's not me. But there are times when you make more than you look at 10%. So if another week you don't make anything, it kind of offset it. Imagine if you have your full-time job and most, not all, but most of your bills can be paid by making this kind of investment. You understand? So for me,
That's
I
everybody's dream, by the way.
but yeah,
But
but you
that's the
see
thing I
there are
hear the
hope.
most. What they don't say it out. Other people don't say it out right, but what they really say is, you often get is, I want to do maybe not do that investment rather than it, but they want a way to I'm not affording my life
Yep.
to the work I'm gonna do at daytime. I want this thing do something else in the background and it pay for everything. So much I can spend my salary as more want.
What would you not to
Because
Yeah,
dream
then
I
about
want,
that
I want
though?
a dividend portfolio. I want my dividends and cover all my bills. You hear that kind of thing often.
right. But for me, what I find is that a lot of persons will want something, but they're not putting in the time or the effort to know about what it is that they want. So it
Yeah,
goes back
that
to,
dream vision is different.
yeah, it goes back to you not even want to read something, but you want to see the bottom line of it. I just have to put in the effort because I have to work for what I want, you know. Other persons, and we don't mind if other persons are not in that position. But me, I have to work. So, and the
Yeah,
JC has been very, very good. So I read what I can. I spend my time doing the things I like, and I really love the market. I really love it. And I
yeah.
try to tell anybody who wants to listen about it.
Mhm.
Just that.
I think a big point as well that people don't really get is that they think, okay, the only way to do what Jutsa is doing is get what Jutsa is getting out of it is to do exactly what Jutsa is doing. When the reality is, maybe you don't get exactly what she wants out of it, but you can get what you want on a
I
different,
depend on you.
different at your level. You don't know
Yeah,
it. You don't have the time. You don't think you can put in a certain level of work or whatever. Then find where that find where the two roads meet.
exactly. Because as you say, some persons will have want to just get dividends. Some persons can speak to their financial advisors. Some persons can go and have sessions and learn and do it themselves. There
Mm-hmm.
are different ways, but you have to be doing.
You have to
You
be
know, we talk
there's
about
an
it.
action at the back of it. You have to be doing something.
You have to be
You
doing
have to find
something.
where exactly you fall in that, and then actually do what you need to be doing to get that out of it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you.
And as you say,
Yeah.
a big part of this is if if that. So I like Jutsa and Shay's point there because it highlights that if you keep that part a secret, then nobody will know that it's possible. Like nobody,
Exactly.
if we not hear about the market doing certain things, then you will not know that the market can do certain things.
Exactly.
Right.
And then
Actually,
Like everybody, think like Jamaicans. If a landlord culture, now, bro, it's all right. Me if you get a house, so we can rent it, and the rental will cover the the rental will cover the mortgage plus everything. So we gonna live good in the rent and the rent, and so I need. You get a house, you rent it out. You have a $200,000 mortgage, so I hope I can rent it for 400, right? So you
mhm.
can live on
Mhm.
200 and the mortgage covered and you do but an eye for again. And I'm
Mhm.
sorry, that's just not happening for most at all.
Not happening. Hmm. Hmm. And probably even get worse for that exact market.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You make a good point. Like you say, you talk to people at the start. Part of these continued conversations also help people. The second part, them never knew it was possible, and then you have other people who hear it and go, no, that's not possible. So you need people to talk about it in a real way so that you can understand it. And then you have other people who might know and just, you need somebody to help them over the hump. For like I said, the bad news. Like going back to that article I mentioned at the start, I think I did say it was Observer, but it's not Observer. Because Observer gets so much beat up. It was actually the Gleaner. So JC Group earnings dip amid market slump. Um, it was a weird article to read. Like you read it and you come away thinking, yeah, things really rough. You know, things really
Mhm.
bad on the market. You wouldn't like I read it and you wouldn't think that JC the company
Yeah,
is
exactly. That's what I haven't fully read it. I read the start and I got busy. But the thing exactly what I thought. Are we talking about the company or the index?
yeah I don't know. You wouldn't think that like it had its fourth most profitable year last year. You wouldn't think that that's being written about a company that is, I think, still making record profits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think still making record. Last year was record profit. Not sorry, last year was record revenue. Record revenue is what I mean, not record profit. I mean, yeah, fourth best is still really good. Like fifth is not close. So I mean, almost half a billion in profits last year, and so far this year, like they're way ahead of where they were the same period last year, right? Like way ahead of where they are. But then in the article, that's a weird thing about it. The article even goes into depth with that. Like it's like, if you take away the there's something about like if you take away there's a one-off last year when the Trans Jamaica offer for sale happened. So there's big trades. There's a big trade. So obviously the JC that made more fees off that. So if you take that away, then it's even worse. But I'm thinking, and that was in the first quarter. But they look on the second quarter and like, it's worse, which it was. The profit is worse than last year's second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking, it's not that much worse. No, it is. It's pretty bad. It's down like 40%. That's rough.
Oh, yeah. What was the reason?
Well,
Any
they
idea?
didn't really go into any reason, but I know that last year Q2 had NCB, no? NCB's APO.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's also not happening again. Well, God forbid, but that's not also happening again this year. So I wouldn't be surprised at the drop. And then if you look at how much Q1's profit was over last year's Q1, they're still ahead of where they were last year. You wouldn't think that this is a company that is still on track making record revenues and on track to probably make record profits this year if you just go off that headline. But how many people are just going? They're not even going to read the article. And reading the article don't really help unless you know. Like
That's
it,
the usual issue. It's you get check or the reporter going to tell you where you go.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna know. Trading values total 45 billion over the 7 months to July. Really, up from 26 billion a year earlier. So that's an extra 19 billion. That sounds like a company that's really struggling.
Mm-hmm.
19 billion more dollars. I'd love those problems.
The thing that I think about now is it's that's why these shows are important. The market commentary beyond just diverse sources for market commentary.
Yeah.
It's one of those we love to talk about how far ahead U.S. market is, and then here we are. Right? It's one of those things we actually need.
Yeah, yeah, that's rough. I mean, I don't mind the doom in this though.
You
I miss.
need a cream mine, bro.
Yeah, man. Please. I'm also in the market
Uh,
for these shares. Feel free to sell them out.
I don't know who. Okay, good. Continue. Nobody wrote this story. Nice.
Oh, it's one of those anonymous stories?
Oh, no, somebody did a story. I never mean it
Okay.
like. I never mean it like actual. But no,
Yeah,
it
it's
was the
just
point.
it was just a weird headline to me. It's like
I
it's
know, bro. But I know nobody vexed him set up and then things and I call him that. You know.
no, well, I like that it's doomish. I have to admit, I hope people sell for cheaper. But you're right. Let me look at the positives. You're right. It's a sign of why you need a diverse conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the different market views.
Mm-hmm. I think they look at, I think the disagreement pulls you closer to the truth. They, you don't hear one. It's not a one view situation. Like, you often like, oh, Kyle Icahn does not agree with Warren Buffett on this one stock. And they both give their reasons why, and it's up to you at this point to say, you know, okay, so who is right? And you have to really get up and look at each point properly, and with your money, and see where you fall in that.
Yeah,
That's why market should be happening. So you will never have agreement across the board. So
yeah.
you shouldn't.
Consensus is found in the share price.
Yeah. So then disagreement brings us close to the truth. It's yeah.
Yes, that's a beautiful secret. With the ultimate secret. All right. Well, I like that. I think that's a good point to end on. What do you think, Shay? I see you just on.
I don't even know when I got muted or when I, yeah. But I've enjoyed the discussion so far. Thanks to Teacher Striker for joining. That was cool. And I've gotten quite a bit to, go process from you guys. I think one of the things that I think I said it, but I was muted, um, was the point that was made about talking about it freely so that other people can come join who probably don't know nothing. And I remember being one of those people who was just on Twitter idling and came across some information about stocks and thing, and here we are. So I agree. If it's one person you reach for the year, that's okay. Um,
I,
I mean, actually reach.
I should reach more than one. I assure you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I also mean you, Randy. So yeah,
Thank you. And well, you guys too all
that makes
contribute to
sense.
it. I mean, people listen. People listen. I look at the episodes. I look at the previous episodes that we've done since we've come back, and you have hundreds, if not thousands, of people tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we are a show focused on Jamaica. So the Jamaica market, I mean, it's not
Mm.
exclusive to it. Lots of people touch the US markets and all sorts of stuff in here. But yeah, I'm happy
The
to
principles remain the same, and that's something that you always say that if you learn it, you learn it. If
that's
you
true.
learn investing, you learn investing.
That's true. And the
It's not
principles
like
do remain the same. It works just as well on the US
yes,
market.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
All right. So I'm happy to hear
important
that.
work.
Yeah, happy to hear that. And you guys can hear me tired. And also, I'll wrap it up now, Danai, and tell people like,
There are people, thanks for tuning in. It was a great discussion. As I said at the start, I did like this thing, this topic. So a lot to talk about. And me, chat too much. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend and see us again next week.
yeah, man, big up. Night, everybody.
Yep. Night night.
Oh, one last thing. By the way, if anybody was to get a prize from last week, I haven't cleared it up yet. Please remember, just send me a DM. Or shoot me a message if you can't DM me, although you should be able to DM me. Everybody should be able to, but If not, just add me on Twitter and I will DM you. Night, everybody.
And I
Yeah, peeps.